Hi guys, today I'm making an advanced crafting video on how to craft +2 arrow bows with around 500 to 550 PDPS or even more if you get lucky. And if you look at the market, there is literally zero listed. The best one on Ultimatum is 321 PDPS, which is pretty bad. And if you look on standard for 550 PDPS bows with +2 arrows, they're listed for like 190 to 200x minimum. And since there's zero on the market, you can probably pretty much decide the price. And you can probably make this in 50 to 80x, I would approximate it. So what you want to do to make this, you want to start by getting a base. You either want to go Arbinger bow if you're a miner. This is good because it has a high base or average damage. You don't care about the PDPS, you only care about the average damage. And it has the highest crit in the game, 7.5, and it has a terrible attack speed, so you don't want this for a normal attack build. Uh, a really good choice for attack builds though is Spine Bow because it has a really good PDPS. You care about PDPS on bows, and it has a good crit chance, 6.5, and it also has an okay attack speed. Thicket Bow, it's probably like the best for clear speed, and it has the highest potential PDPS because the base attack speed is so high, but the crit chance is pretty bad. So if you go with the Thicket Bow, you probably need to get some base crit somewhere else. But okay, to start crafting them, you just pick your base, one of these three, depending on which build you're choosing from. And you start with +2 arrows. You just alteration spam this. It's gonna cost you around 2 to 3x alteration spam this. And once you alteration spam arrow, you want to augment and regal and fill up your suffix. How to fill up your suffix? You basically just prefix to suffix until there's one suffix open, and then you craft the last one. Once you have three suffixes, you can fracture +2 arrows, and once you fracture it, you have a 1 in 3 chance of hitting the actual mod that you want. If you don't hit +2 arrows, you have to go back and alteration spam another base, start over again. Once you have your +2 arrows fractured, you want to 30 quality the bow and 6 link it. You don't want to do it before this step because in case you break it when it's fractured, you have to start over. So you're gonna lose like all the money that you invested making it 30 quality and fracturing it. On the step 4 is the really expensive part. You're gonna spend over like 20x minimum to make this step, and you probably want to alteration spam. You want to spam with the essences of contempt because these force a tier close to T1 of flat fizz. The three mods that you want is T1 essence flat or essence. Sorry, T1 essence flat or T1 flat. They're pretty much really close, if you can see. The second mod that you want is a good tier of hybrid. I recommend tier 2 or tier 3 minimum. And the last mod, at least 139 of fizz damage percent. You can get this veiling, or you can get lucky and you can hit it while you're spamming with essences. So here there's all the average number of essences you need to hit each tier. So tier 3 of hybrid is going to take around 200. Tier 2 of hybrid is going to take around 500, and T1 is going to take 1500. This is the same for T1 fizz. So if you just keep spamming essences, you're going and you check on Craft of Exile. Any good tier of fizz, any combination of good tier of fizz and percent hybrid, fizz percent and percent hybrid, is going to take around 107 essences. So it's not that expensive. Every around 107 essences, you're going to get something that you can start working with, but you can still break it after. So in case you hit the fizz by itself and you don't have any other prefix, you can do suffix to prefix to add a random prefix. This basically saves you one essence, so it takes the average cost of crafting the item down by quite a bit. It's like say like when you, for example, when you're doing imprint og, it's basically like the same principle of saving with annuls. You can try to save by suffix to prefixing one time, and if you get a bad mod, you just essence again. Okay, this is in case you hit a good tier of hybrid, you can veil a prefix and hope to get percent fizz. If you hit percent fizz, which is pretty common, you can start doing your suffixes. If you're lucky and you don't get a fizz mod, if you're not lucky and you don't get a fizz mod, you can try to save it with an annul or a prefix to suffix. This is a 1 in 3 chance. And instead, if you don't need percent fizz, hybrid, and you need percent fizz instead, you can try to do non-fizz to fizz to try and force the hybrid. This doesn't always work because you have a suffix as well that can be with a fizz tag. So you can also, the price of non-fizz to fizz is pretty expensive usually. So you can also try to do prefix cannot be changed and reroll physical plus or reroll physical. I think reroll physical plus is better. What I mean with plus is the more likely to hit the mod. If you look at my bench, for example, here is cold modifiers more common. It's gonna be physical modifiers are more common. While, for example, this one is normal, this one is more common. That's what people mean when they say reroll plus. It makes the mod more common. In this case, I think rerolling physical plus is better than normal reroll critical. Physical. So if you hit a hybrid here, you're done. At least T3, T4, I would say. If you don't hit hybrid, you have to go back. Actually, no. If you don't hit hybrid, you still could save it by prefixing to suffixing, like we did in this step. You could try to save it and do it again. But if you remove any of the two fizz mods, you have to start over and start essence spamming again. You have to start all over from step 4. So you could also instead, and pretty much you're done. If you hit hybrid, you're done with this step. Instead, if you want to use other methods of crafting this, you could use jagged spamming or corroded jagged sanctified. All the other rules that apply to this type of craft with the essence apply to this as well. And also harvest crafting, if you just spam fizz or fizz plus on the bow, you could still get something pretty good, but we don't have a lot of supply of harvest crafts anymore, so I wouldn't really recommend it. But if you have like, if you're like the base with the +2 arrows and you're just doing harvest and you just want to spam some reforges on it, you can just do it. To finish the suffixes is pretty easy. What you do is prefix cannot be changed, and you can reroll crit or reroll speed. And once you hit at least around 30% crit and 13% attack speed, I will just go ahead and crafting the last mod. So here, for example, I hit 38 T1 crit chance. You can craft you can craft attack speed and quality, or you can do the opposite. You can roll for attack speed and craft the crit chance. If you hit the bow prefixes without using an unveil, so there's no veiled mod, what you can do is clean the suffixes and add an unveil. You only need one unveil, so if you hit 2, you can just unveil one and remove the other with the bench. You don't need to open both of them. You can just leave one unopened. Because once you hit 1, hitting the second one is kinda risky. But if you just craft the last mod, you're guaranteed to get what you want. So it's not worth the risk of unveiling a mod with a chance of being slightly better when you can just get it guaranteed pretty good. So you're gonna just unveil one mod and hope for crit chance, double damage, or attack speed depending on your build, and you're gonna craft the last one. Thanks for watching the video. Leave in the comment below what you want me to craft in the next video, and maybe I'll pick yours. And see you in the next one.